Live.
Due to some violent content, parental discretion is advised.
You don't like my hair?
No, it's fine. I actually don't look at guys' hair. So.
I do. I'm very judgmental. Yeah. I'm very judgmental about everyone, Dan. Like right now, I can see the top. You've got this curl on the top of your hair. Look where your headphones are.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, that's better.
You're more mental than judge.
All right, here we go. You ready? You ready?
Yep.
All right. What are you supposed to do?
I'm supposed to...
Camera 0. There we go. It'll take some getting used to, I know.
And then main screen after that.
Right.
Well, I don't know what this thing is. I think it's a strip show, dance show.
Work there, dude.
Welcome to
DeaconLive.
DeaconLive.
Live.
Welcome back, guys. On today's show, a CEO just gave all of is employees $10,000 each. And if you're lost, answer your phone. And also, let's go, Brandon. And have you been a victim of a injection site spike? All this and much more will be discussed here on DeaconLive. How are you? How are things? And over to my far right side is IT Dan.
Yeah, I'm doing great today. Glad to be here.
We are broadcasting live from the COVIDSapien.com studios, located just outside of Charlotte, North Carolina, a beautiful little town we like to call Marshville. We're located on about 22 some odd acres. We have horses, chickens, cattle, all that stuff in between, and we broadcast above my beautiful, fully renovated thing above my 3-car garage, our studio here.
Yeah, you can use the word studio. Our listeners would understand.
So, Dan, how is your week going? Now, for me, nothing really, believe it or not, in my wide world of oddities and things that happen to me on a daily basis, this whole entire week was actually kind of a fuddy-duddy for me. So I really don't have any stories other than I'm kind of pissed about Halloween. Can you feel it that we're not really getting into the Halloween spirit?
You are. I mean, I think it's 4 days before Halloween. You got your mask on already?
No.
I think that's pretty good.
I have a mask on, Dan. But, I mean, for the most part, I'm driving around and I'm not seeing houses decorated as much. I don't know if it's just me and where I live, because we live out in the middle of nowhere in a beautiful town we like to call Marshville. So I'm not seeing like decorations. I'm not seeing the spooky stuff. But what about you? I mean, you live in an actual neighborhood.
Yeah, and I see some. And, I'd say 1 out of every 10 houses decorated. It's not a lot.
But you said only 19 houses at your place only hand out candy.
Yeah.
So there are 8 houses?
Decorate, but I don't want kids coming over. No. And we are having a Halloween party, an adult Halloween party at the pool house.
Are you really?
Yes.
Can I go? Is there beverages there?
Yeah, there'd be. I think most everything is bring your own beverages.
Is it really?
Mostly it's alcoholic beverages.
Now, are you going to go?
No, I don't.
Why not? Dan, you got to meet the people that you live in your neighborhood.
I know enough of them, so I want to let you know I'm a little tired today.
Why? We're tired of what? Meeting people in your neighborhood?
No, Monday and Tuesday I crazily picked up this demolition. Redo a bathroom floor in this house built in the 1900s.
You're not going to give me a step-by-step of how you broke down the floor.
No,
okay.
But let's just say the house is a disaster. Everything's sagging in the floor, and it's a mess. And I'm doing that, and I'm thinking, I said, why am I doing this? You know what I really should do?
What?
I should go find a nice, cushy job where I can sit in a seat and relax in a nice studio and maybe be like on a talk show so I can take it easy.
You should get a job like that, Dan.
Yeah, it's my dream job someday.
So what you're saying is, Dan, you want to do this full time?
No. What we're doing now is great. One day a week.
What you're doing now is great. I've got 3 other podcasts that I work on and stuff. So you're just catching just 1/4 of my daily week. So
yeah, and I think it's all working out good for both of us.
Okay, good. What else is going on, Dan? How's Kathy? How was her birthday, by the way? She had a happy birthday to her, by the way.
Yeah, we went out to a nursery, and I told her
You went out to... I almost thought you said you went out to a nursing home.
No, we went to a nursery, and we found... I told her she wanted a red maple tree. So I found a red maple tree, and, we brought it home. and I dug a hole and planted it. So that was
In
was
that
a birthday
order?
present. Yes, in that order.
Did you do anything special for her birthday as
we
far
went
as
out
like
to lunch. We went out to Denton.
Denton? Where's Denton at?
Denton, you take a left by Light My Fart, and you go through Pull My Finger, North
Seriously,
Carolina.
Dan,
and
seriously.
Denton.
I don't need jokes every 5 minutes. Just tell me what's
Okay,
going on.
Denton is about half hour east of our house.
Okay.
It's a small town, probably bigger than Marshville though.
Okay.
And we went and then we found a place with outdoor eating. We sat underneath the canopy and had some real nice burgers.
And did you do anything special for her as far as outside the red maple or anything? Did you get anything for her? Like, did you get her a card?
I got
Let's
her
do
a
it this way.
card. I got her a card.
And what did it say?
It said, let me see exactly what it
Roses
said.
are red, violets are purple.
No, it was actually a pretty card, and then I said, "I love you, even though you're a pain in my ass."
Did you really?
Yes, and then signed it.
Oh, that's so
Yes.
romantic. And you've been married how long? 47 years?
47 years.
47 years.
The
Well,
day
good.
Nixon resigned, we got married.
Were you waiting for him to resign?
No,
Okay.
it just happened.
Well, good. Well, right now, I guess everything's kind of boring between the two of us. Nothing really happened this week. Now, it has been getting cold out, and the weather's kind of going down, and my leaves are all over the yard, Dan. I know we're sitting here talking about the most mundane things, but do you have like leaf problems in your yard?
I just mow my lawn and I leave the lawn.
You crunch them all up and just let them go.
Yeah,
you don't
let 'em
put
go.
lime down or anything.
I don't do anything on my lawn except water, and my lawn looks greener than most of them in our neighborhood.
Is it natural water?
But those aren't the important leaves. The important leaves are the leaves over my brother-in-law's house,
Why?
because those leaves are the ones that he pays me to rake them all up. So I get to blow and rake all his leaves and blow them into the neighbor's property. So those are the leaves I care about. Those are the money leaves.
All right, guys. Well, stick around. We got a riveting, exciting show for you this week. Stick around. You're listening to Deacon Live right here on Proper Radio. I'll be right back. All right, guys, don't forget, we are live streaming. That first segment totally sucked. We apologize. We can't all be gems here in this gemstone of podcasting. So if you want to listen to the whole entire podcast, make sure you follow us on iHeartRadio, Spotify, and all those things in between. You can see all the links and stuff. And for every podcast we do, we have matching video as well. All right, guys. Thanks. Take care.
You think that sucked?
Yep. That's okay.
You cut me out.
Uh-huh.
And stuff like that.
He's been in a bunch of stuff. I like him.
Yeah, he's a great actor, and every time he plays, it's a little bit different because you thought he was just a wimpy,
He's
geeky
smart.
guy, yeah. But from them, that's the way I've known. We had one kid, Kyle Santora, that was the same thing as him. When that it was kind of like Stand By Me, 20 years later and stuff.
Right. All right, you ready? Welcome back to Deacon Live. Over to my far right hand side is IT Dan.
Yeah. Hello, buddy.
We are broadcasting live from the COVIDSapien.com studios. Don't blame the Democrats or the Republicans. Don't blame Biden or Trump. Blame the actual culprit of the widespread virus. For more information, go to COVIDSapien.com for more information. Now, Dan, you have a very delicate palate, I should say. You enjoy Spam a lot.
I had Spam for breakfast this morning. 3 pieces of fried Spam. They were good.
Now, it's not good for you, but do you have like culinary stuff that you use, or is it like you're proud of? Like, we watch Hell's Kitchen, and Hell's Kitchen has they give the chefs at the beginning of the show, they give them all these real nice fancy, they're probably like $3,000 knives. You can go to camera 4 if you want.
Yeah, we have some a few nice steak knives, but I have one that's special. It's a kitchen knife, cutting knife that a friend of mine got me that was handcrafted from Vietnam. He passed away. He was a veteran, and he got me this knife. And
So you still use it?
yeah, I use it once in a while.
Okay. Well, if you look right here, this company is taking steak knives to a whole new level. Steak knives being made from hardened wood are 3 times sharper than steel.
Yeah, by experimenting with alternative methods of food processing, scientists have actually come up with
Wood processing.
Scientists have actually come up with a new hardened form of natural material that could be fashioned into sharp knives and sturdy nails. The results are 3 times sharper than the standard dinner table knife and can be even thrown in the dishwasher after use.
Now we have bamboo cutting boards that you're not allowed to put in the dishwasher or anything like that. Do you have anything that you're not allowed to put in the dishwasher? I would think wood itself is not allowed to go in the dishwasher.
Yeah, and we have some spatulas that are for stick-free pans
that you beat each other with.
No, and we have the spatulas, but they have wooden handles, and we usually wash them by hand just so we don't ruin the wood handle.
Okay, well, right here. Yeah. So this hardy new form of wood is a handiwork of scientists from the University of Maryland. They have set out to try to create this new natural strength which lies in the cellulose packed inside. The wood is accounting for 40 to 50% of the material, and itself is higher strength density to ratio engineers material and stuff like that. So here we go. Read this right here.
It's a 2-step process, says senior author Tang Li. In the first step, we partially delinify the wood. Typically, wood is very rigid, but after the removal of the linen, it becomes soft, flexible, and somewhat squishy. In the second step, we do a hot press by applying pressure and heat to the chemically produced wood to densify and remove the water. I mean, wouldn't this make a perfect murder weapon? You stab somebody and then throw it in the fire.
Yes, that would make sense if you did that. But I mean, that's how they make tempered steel. Tempered steel is the same way. They heat it up and then they cool it, and they heat it up and cool it. And what it does is it causes these nice tight ripples in like your hammers and stuff. They always say never bang two tempered steel hammers together because it'll split off and shoot because it's all under pressure.
And the same process with tempered glass for your car, your side windows. And
so the hardened wood is then carved into a knife and then coated with mineral oil. So I guess you're going to have to take care of these things. And they say that the steel dinner table knife is 23 times harder than the natural wood. When it was cut through whatever seemed like here separated use. As you can see, I didn't read through these stories. Our kitchen, we have many wood pieces that are used for a very long time, like cutting boards, chopsticks, and rolling pins, Mr. Lee says. So right now they're coming out with a ultra hardwood for steak knives. Now, that would do a lot because, excuse me, the steel industry in itself is, it's hard to get steel. I mean, there's laborers out there, there's manufacturers out there that they can't, fill the void as far as jobs and anything, as far as those big industrial work.
Yeah, and I've not seen a shortage of steak knives yet, but I haven't gone out looking for them either. So.
Well, you buy a steak knife, and you buy a steak knife for, I don't want to say for life, but how often? I've got, right now, Dan, I've acquired, I had a steak knife set when my wife and I first met. She had a steak knife set, and then her dad passed away, and we got his steak knife set, so we've got a combination of 3 different steak knives.
Yeah, and we don't have any set per se, but we have... we have enough that all our cutting and, poultry work and things like that.
Now, Dan, back in your younger years, you said you used to drink beer or alcohol or something like that, right?
Yeah, when I was like 12 years old.
Right. Now, today you say you maybe have a glass of red wine or something like that?
Yeah, sometimes I'll have a glass of wine at night before bedtime.
Do you do any like hard liquor?
No.
And I hate to use the word hard liquor because it just makes it sound horrible, like you're doing something wrong.
No, but
do you do drugs? No, I just do hard drugs.
Yes, I think hard liquor, people understand that, but I don't drink any. I never really have. So vodka I used to drink sometimes.
Really? My wife likes to do the hard seltzer, and for the longest time there was a level of things going on. The college kids were drinking these high calorie IPAs. Oh, I drink craft beers. And then they were wondering why they were putting on 20 pounds because every craft beer's got like 300 calories in each one.
What's the alcohol content?
And a craft beer can go anywhere up to 8%, almost 11% in a craft beer. But now all of a sudden everyone's, feeling that they're getting big fat fucks and stuff. And so they started bringing out these hard seltzers. Now hard seltzers are, 100 calories, 5% alcohol, almost no sugars at all, low carbs. So all these, snobs were trying to get into trying to lose weight. They say, I'll do the hard seltzer. And when White Claw came out, I was like, what the fuck is this? Who the fuck is going to drink this shit? Because in my time, you might remember a product called Zima. Do you remember Zima?
I've seen it. I've never had it.
So Zima was almost like I called it a alcoholic Sprite. It was in a glass bottle, and it was horrible. It was a malt beverage. But now the new hard seltzers are coming around, and they have taken off. Well, unfortunately, the company by the name of Trulia, or the
Truly.
the product called Truly, I guess. I call it Trulia for some reason. It was called Truly. They got into the game a little bit too late. And what they did is they overbought and got into the game just a little bit too late. Boston beer chairman Jim Koch told CNBC on Friday the company is deciding to throw away its excess supply of Truly hard seltzer. They're getting rid of it, Dan. They don't want to discount it. They don't want to do anything with it. They just want to cut their losses, get rid of everything like that. So right there.
Yeah, we were aggressive about adding capacity, adding inventory, buying raw materials, cans, flavors, and frankly, we overbought. And he said, Koch, you also founded Samuel Adams' parent interview. So, when the growth stops, we had more of all those things we've been able to use because there is a shelf life.
So the Boston Beer reported an unexpected loss of $4.76 per share after Thursday's market close. So that's 561 million below what they were expected to get. Yeah. So right now they are, let's see, why the Boston Beer decided to toss the product instead of offering sales promotions and try to spur the last little mint, the Koch said.
Oh, okay. So instead of selling it reduced and people are getting it where it's past its shelf life and they're not happy with it, he doesn't want to have unhappy customers. So
he's throwing it away, throwing it in the rivers. I think there was what was it? The Tea Party that did that? They threw all the tea in there.
The Boston Tea Party. I was just a little kid then.
And you can see there's a motif here. I mean, this is Boston Beer Company, and they have Sam Adams. This is all the whole thing. What I'm saying. So there they go. Now, Dan, you went out to lunch with Kathy the other day. What did you have to eat?
We got some burgers, and you know what I liked about them? I asked for them well done, and they were really well done and crunchy.
So not only did you ask for burgers, but it's a burger that you can have cooked to order, and that would be a big selling point. If you saw hamburgers and you just got whatever the chef put on there.
But I can't tell you how many times I'll say I want a burger well done, and you really well done. And you get it back, and they just throw it on the same for everybody. They don't even look at it.
But how do you eat your hamburger?
I like my hamburger to have black on it and have a little crunch to it. I like it well done.
Do you really?
Yeah.
Like a hockey puck?
Yeah, not quite like a hockey puck, but hockey puck with a soft filling. Yeah.
So I guess if you get if it's cooked to order, what type of meat are they using? They can't be using 90-10 because 90-10 would cook up like that and it'd be a hockey puck.
No, it's probably 80-20, but I haven't checked on it.
Yeah.
So.
All right. So right now, do you remember the have you ever had A&W root beer?
Yeah, I have had A&W root beer.
And what do they call it when they put ice cream on top of it?
Root beer float.
Or my uncle called it a black cow. Have you ever heard that slogan?
Well, I've heard black cow, but not for that.
Yeah, it was a black cow when you just took and it was A&W, I believe. Look it up, Dan. See if you can find out what black cow is. Ice cream. And we would have black cows, and we would have A&W, and he put 2 scoops of vanilla in there, and I think that was it. It's kind of like having a white Russian and a black Russian. Black Russian has no cream in it. It's just liqueur and Bailey, I believe. You looking it up?
Black Cow ice cream. Well, there's a place that sells ice cream called Black Cow, so... What flavor is Black Cow ice cream? Creamy vanilla swirled with spicy root beer sherbet. So that's from somebody that mixes them together in that place.
Well, I might have been lied to as a kid.
Here we go. What's the difference between a Black Cow and a root beer float? It just varies by region. A root beer float is strictly vanilla ice cream. A float made with root beer and chocolate ice cream is a chocolate cow or a brown cow. In some cases, a black cow or brown cow was made with cola instead of root beer. So I've always had just vanilla ice cream and root beer.
So I remember as a kid growing up, and I've been lied to many times as a kid growing up. Now A&W actually had a standalone burger joint, like a what do you call it? Like a Burger King or a McDonald's or something like that. They had an A&W place, and back in the 80s. They were trying to compete. They were trying to beat up the big guy, McDonald's. And McDonald's they have the Big Mac, they have the cheeseburger, they got the regular cheeseburger, and then they came out with a quarter pounder. And so A&W goes, you know what? We're going to go after that.
Yeah.
We're going to go after the quarter pounder. What do you got?
Oh, no, I'm just looking to see what A&W restaurants are.
How many are there?
Well, there's one in Spartanburg, South Carolina, but let me just look at the locations. They're out of Kentucky, so.
It might take a minute for you to upload it. Is that what you're saying?
Yes. No, I'm just trying to find where they are. Oh,
Hey, well, go ahead.
it just seems like there's one big bunch of them. Oh, nothing near us. They're all in Kentucky.
Well, it's kind of like Crystals. Crystals is only everywhere around us but North Carolina for whatever reason. Crystals Hamburgers. Now, A&W is using its past market failure to promote their brand new burger. And what will it be this time? Well, what better way to start your week than reminiscing about the good old days of old-fashioned marketing fails? Now, you know the type of major brands that come up with some kind of foolproof product, kind of like Truly.
Oh, the new Coke.
Yeah, exactly. And so their ad campaign came around in the 1980s that said, hey, McDonald's has a quarter pounder. We've got the 1/3 pounder. Unfortunately, this whole entire marketing plan failed. You know why?
People don't know fractions.
They don't know fractions, and it's because they think, well, 4 is larger than 3. And so they're completely tanked, and they said, you know what? It almost threw us out of business. We put this whole big marketing thing back in. So right now, let's see. They are redoing their whole entire marketing plan for this new burger, which is basically the old burger just redesigned. So here you go. Take it away right there, Dan.
A&W, perhaps they're embittered by the hard-learned lessons of the past, is still stuck on winning Americans over with a big, juicy burger.
And they have a really good hamburger. I mean, it's almost like you were talking about, like cooked to order.
Have you ever had one?
Yes, I have.
Okay.
And they're not cooked to order, but it's like, do you like Wendy's hamburgers where it's never frozen? It's real meat?
I'm not crazy about Wendy's.
Oh, Jesus, Dan, I can't win with you.
Sorry.
I just like Spam.
but no.
Spam is all I like.
No, Wednesdays I get my Frosty there, but at least I said it right. So they decided to rebrand the 1/3 quarter pounder in a way that Americans of all math skill levels would be drawn to. The 3/9, which means 3/9 pound burger, which anyone who knows math knows that it goes in eighths of 16.
So, yeah, so the 3/9, if you break it down, is
One-third.
It's a 1/3 pound hamburger. So they figured that they do the 1/3 hamburger or the 3/9 hamburger with the retards that are out there will go, oh, that's larger than the quarter pounder. That's got to be more meat. So here's a look.
And actually, they're going to be right in that one case that it is larger than the quarter pounder. But, basically, there's 3 types of people in this world. People who are good at math and people who aren't good at math.
In the 1980s.
Oops. So I'm going to put this up. I'll get the camera, Dan. I'm going to put this up, and you guys can watch this. This is the actual commercial that's coming out with the 3/9 burger. So if you want to watch this, for every podcast we do, we have a matching video as well. The way you do that is go over to profitradio.com, click on DeaconLive, and you can see for every podcast we do have matching videos. So here we go.
In the 1980s, A&W launched an advertising campaign to promote a new 3/pound burger. It was bigger and beefier than the competition's puny quarter-pound option, and the price was the same. So how come nobody bought it? Turns out, Americans are just terrible at math. Like, really bad. They're smaller than 1/4 because 4 is bigger than 3. The whole thing went down in history as a huge marketing fail. And we've spent the last 40 years crunching the numbers. Our best mathematicians working day in and day out, trying to crack the uncrackable code.
A little overkill.
Solving the insolvable equation to claw our way back from this embarrassing episode. And we've done it. Introducing the A&W 3/9 burger. It's bigger. Genius.
Look how big it is. Look at it. Look how big it is, Dan.
Yeah, it is. It is marketing.
And it's
also.
the same price, too. That's what they're saying. It's the same price as the quarter pounder. And, but look at the bun. I don't know. I like a nice sesame seed bun. This looks like a biscuit almost on top, or kind of like a dinner roll.
Yeah. I still think for big burgers, Hardee's got the best deals on them. The fully big burgers.
I've never liked Hardee's. I don't know why. I think the name Hardee's just kind of moves me a little bit.
And the thing is, if you go out west, out in the other western part of the country, it's Carl's Jr., and the burgers are better. Same signs, almost everything's identical, same star, but Carl's Jr. tastes better.
All right. Well, it's probably because they're closer to the distribution center. All right, when we come back, If you work for a company and the CEO gave you $10,000, no, don't look over here, Dan. I'm not giving you $10,000. Gave you $10,000 and a one-way or a round-trip ticket, first class, anywhere in the world, you probably hang out with that job or that position, right?
Yeah, I think that's a nice
The
thing.
CEO did that when they found out that she took over the company, took over the controlling shares of the company, and gave everyone a good old bonus check. Stick around. You're listening to Deacon Live right here on Prophet Radio. I'll be right back. I hit 9. Did you hit 9?
I hit 9.
Okay.
They're only in. How could you go to an A&W? They're only in Kentucky.
We had them in when I was growing up in high school. We had a
Internet doesn't lie.
Oh, you ready?
Yes.
Up to speed?
Oh, up to speed. Hang on.
Yeah.
Now I'm ready. You going to go to the main menu right now?
I'll do it.
You can do the up to
Yeah,
speed.
I'll switch it for you so you can.
Okay.
Welcome back to Deacon Live, broadcasting live from the COVIDSapien.com studio. Don't blame the Democrats or the Republicans, Trump or Biden. Blame the actual culprit for this widespread of the virus. Go to COVIDSapien.com. That's COVIDSapien.com for more information. And now it's time for Up to Speed with Technology with IT Dan.
Good afternoon. I was wondering if anybody knew what is polyglue.
Poly what?
Polyglue. Yeah.
Is that like when I have one too many coolers?
No, it's a little bit different. It's but close. It's no, two famous Japanese inventors took language translation to the next level and created an instant translator called Polyglue. It can easily translate real-time speech into 36 languages with only a few finger taps. It's a handheld voice translator. Costs about $175, and I looked, and there are about 18 similar items on Amazon, but this one seems to do things the other ones don't.
So it does it in real time. What's the difference between that and the Google Translation app on your phone?
If you happen to be stopping in a foreign country and need to ask for directions,
Because I always just stop in a foreign country.
or order food, and I mean, I'd like one just so I could be able to translate what people in Deep South say to me. Sometimes they'll talk to me, and it's like a foreign language.
Donde es el biblioteco?
Yes. And I'd really like to see if they can make a translator so you can understand women, but that would be a big technology and stuff. This company Razer thinks you want a PC gaming headset that vibrates, and the company just announced a new gaming headset called the Kraken V3 that features haptic vibrations designed to help make it a more immersing thing. I don't understand it. It's something.
You know what I would like?
Yeah.
I would like the chair or shoes or something that
the vest, the vest.
Yes.
But having it in your ear not only would be irritating,
it would mess up your equilibrium.
I can't see that causing you nerve damage or other problems with your ears. So I kind of stay away from that. They also say you could watch it you don't need any apps. You could watch it for movies, but I'd stay away here. But
I think they should come out, and not necessarily the vest, because the vest, I would think it would get hot. You know, the motors and everything running on it. If you had
no motors, just magnets.
Well, all right, magnets. But I mean, my controller gets a little warm. Doesn't yours?
No, that's
You don't play hard as I do.
I-
You don't
I-
play as hard as I do,
I
Dan.
don't play golf. That's what you become a wimp.
But I mean, they've got chairs, like gaming chairs that
vibrate.
Do they vibrate? I don't know. I've never had one.
Yeah, I think they do have some that'll have that.
And then I would think they would come out. You ever seen those beads that taxi drivers have in their cars? You know, that they sit on. Maybe they have something that you sit on in your. Because I've got these real nice white leather lounge. Have you seen those? My lounge chairs
No,
in
you
the
don't.
studio.
He doesn't let me in his house.
I mean-
no, I'm just kidding.
In my movie room, I got these big white leather things. It put a massage thing on your back. I mean, from what's the Sharper Image?
Yeah. Oh, well,
put one. Yeah.
Or Planet Fitness has the massage
Yeah,
machines,
put that in your chair and brrr, like if you get shot in the back or something. I don't know.
Yeah, it would be interesting, but I'd stay away from that thing. But there is one thing I found very interesting. Some of these high-end iPhone Pros have LiDAR, and you probably wonder what that is.
Is that like gaydar?
No, LiDAR stands for light detection and ranging. It may also be commonly referred to as 3D laser scanning. But, I would think of it as radar, but with light waves instead of sound waves. So you can take a picture with the camera
Okay.
in the special software. And let's say you want to take a picture of a room that you really like in a house,
Okay.
or a childhood, or a tree house you built. You can take a picture, and it takes a 3D image, almost like you'd see at some realtor sites, and you can take the picture with the camera. The light bounces back off the rooms and creates a 3D image that you can spin around in and look at it. So
How do they do that if you're sitting forward? So if I'm looking forward, my peripherals from left to right, up to down, and I take the camera and hit click, take the picture, I'm only going to get a 3D image of that, or do I have to move the camera like when you do the panoramic?
kind of like the panoramic,
okay.
but it's much more detailed. I saw a video where a guy walked around a statue. He walked around the statue, and it will show you what parts you need, where you need to move the camera to fill in all the spots. And afterwards, they showed it back, and there's a movie, and it's like you were totally there in 3D. And you can upload these images to Blender software or do your 3D modeling, and it was pretty incredible.
I was watching
just on a regular, high-end iPhone.
Well, I know, and what's crazy is I was just watching something on Netflix. It's called something about memes, and Paris Hilton's on there, and how the meme world, you know what a meme is,
Yes.
right? And how the whole social network and how to be an influence and stuff. And Paris Hilton essentially created the whole influencer realm, or the whole field, the blueprint of how to be
She was a pioneer, yes.
and she was sitting there and she was like, I want to do something virtual. And so they had her in this black tight leather outfit or whatever. And she was standing in this like a globe, and every 3 feet was a camera. And I'm sure each camera cost camera, like big Nikon camera, probably each camera costs like $5,000, and there's probably 50 of them around her. And he's like, all right, the photographer's like, all right, hold your hands up, palms up, fingers out, hold still, click. All of them would take the picture at the same time. And he's like, all right, turn, click. All the cameras would take a picture at the same time. And they would use that image and make a 3D avatar of her. So you're saying that what she was doing back in whatever, we can now do that with just our camera.
Just with your new phone. So, I mean, that's a good technology. That's a good thing.
Have you seen what they do? They actually use when they do the home thing, where they put it almost looks like an old Polaroid camera on a tripod, and they put it in there and they hit the button, and it does the
spins around it.
In the real, if you're going to show a house, this is the living room, this is the dining room, this is the whatever, and it sits there and spins around. Have you seen that?
Yeah, I've seen that, and I mean, you can do that with a tripod too. But the realtors have it set up, so it's really great.
I'm going to go on record right now and say, pretty soon we are going to we're going to just shoot movies with our phone. Now, our phones are always like maybe 3 generations behind actual film and movie cameras, but I think
they have actually got films that have been made that are out in, maybe not in the theaters, but Netflix and other ones that are done entirely on an iPhone. They have some movies.
That would be interesting to see, Dan.
Okay. Now you're going to make me look it up.
No, I mean, I understand some of the commercials when the iPhones first came out, they were shooting them with the actual iPhone 11. This commercial was shot with iPhone 12.
Yeah, so, I mean, I think it's going to be, I think the technology on phones is fantastic.
Yes. What else you got going on?
No, that's just not much at all.
Any big jobs going on with the computer world? Did you upload, download, mess up your hard drive?
No, everything's pretty good. I just set up my new computer, my new spare, and I do have someone's buying a new laptop, and I got to transfer a bunch of data from their old laptop.
Well, good. You got time for that while you're wrecking someone else's house?
That's
tearing out the
resting
floor?
time. That's my rest time in between those. So.
All right, stick around, guys. When we come back, I'll talk about that CEO that gave everyone that she works for or works for her $10,000 on a round-trip ticket, first class around the world.
So when you said her, I'm assuming it's not you.
It's not me. Okay. Stick around. You're listening to Deacon Live right here on Prophet Radio. I'll be right back.
I just switched to 1.
Thank you. It should go to 9. Oh, no. I do not see it. Didn't make the news. I don't believe it.
Yeah, if it made the news, you'd believe it.
Okay. You ready? Yeah. Camera 1, please. Welcome back to Deacon Live. Over to my far right side is IT Dan.
Yep. Hello, everyone.
We are broadcasting live from the COVIDSapien.com studios. Don't blame the Democrats or Republicans, Trump or Biden. Blame the actual culprit of this widespread virus. For more information, go to COVIDSapien.com. That's COVIDSapien.com for more information and show your support and peaceful protests for the outbreak of this virus. Dan, you doing all right over there?
Yeah,
What'd you find out?
Oh, I'm doing well.
What'd you find out about the movie cameras?
Oh yeah, they've made 12 movies that they've made with
Has anyone
iPhone.
Has any of those movies made awards? Got awards or anything? Or I'm sure.
Yeah, I mean, he's been
Take your time.
his movie's called Unsane. I Play with Phase Each Other, Tangerine, Detour, 9 Rides.
Which one looks the best? I'm gonna look up to see if the trailer.
Romance in New York, maybe.
All right, let's see. Hold on, I'm gonna pull this up. And don't forget, for every podcast we do have a matching video as well. And the way you do that is go over to profitradio.com, and for every podcast we do, you can see this as well. What's the name of it?
Oh, it's Romance in New York.
Romance
in NYC.
in
YC.
NYC trailer. And while you're over at Profit Radio, guys, go ahead and get yourself a free swag bag. We'll send it out to you. You ready? So here's the trailer. This is 2014. Yeah. All right, so let's see. I'm going to put this, you want to put it on camera 5, Dan? Wait, halfway through. Oh, here we go.
Uneasy lies the mind, scene 43, take 1.
Uneasy lies the mind. That's not right. No? Hold on.
No.
Back. Hold on. Hit Here it is. All right. Describe what's going on, Dan.
They have some girl with a big floppy hat on, and she's walking along a bench, and she's wandering around a tree like...
An intimate story.
Yeah.
About everyday love.
Yeah. Make sure you wash your hands afterwards.
A little boob shot there.
Yeah.
Shot entirely on the iPhone 6.
So this was like 1900, I guess, back then?
Yes.
Yeah.
Captures the tiniest nuances of... This is no different than a home movie, Dan.
No, this
Done
is...
it. This is horrible. Look, we're having dinner. I love you. Romance in New York City. The first short film on an iPhone 6. This is crap, Dan.
Yeah,
How to
it
get
is
How to
crap.
get this? This is crap. This is no different than someone you taking your home movies and stuff and taking it to a guy who transfers it from VHS to video, and then you can take the video stuff and he's like, "All right, can you throw a little, sweepers and things on there?" Dan, it's no different than what I do here in the studio for our video broadcasts.
I just said that they made movies. I didn't say they were good movies.
There you go. I was thinking they were
But
good.
they've made some real horrible movies with the fanciest movie equipment ever. So.
I actually I graduated before he did. The guy who directed or created the Blair Witch Project, he was out of University of Central Florida, and he was a couple years behind me. And I was doing a live podcast before it was a podcast. It was a live TV show on the whatever news network that they had up there at UCF, and we had him on the show, and we talked to him. I'm sitting there talking to him and stuff. He was telling us how he used the cameras, the basic cameras that they used to film that. He's like, the whole budget was less than, I think, $100,000 to do the whole entire thing. And the actors, I guess, didn't know what they were actually filming. They were just like going, but you never seen those actors again. That's the thing.
Yeah, because the Blair Witch killed them.
Right. Is that real or not real? All right. What is real is, Dan, you ready? So many years ago, along the lines of what A&W is doing, back in the 80s, they came out with that 1/3 burger. No one could figure out the math on that. And now they're revamping themselves, and they came out with 3/9 burger. Now, right now, about 10 years ago, in early 2018, they were trying to do this whole entire robot. They were trying to take the cooking element out of the kitchen. no one can
take the people out.
Well, yeah, take the people out of the kitchen to get them away from these high hot points,
high risk
oils, and all that stuff. So they came out with someone called Flippy. Flippy was designed to become an AI robot. It was a public disaster. Flippy came out so quickly and overwhelmed by the orders that it broke down before its shift was even over. So what he was doing is he was flipping hamburgers and moving the oils or moving the fries and dumping the fries all at the same time.
And the robot was smart enough to say, hey, if I break down, I'd have to be doing this shit all day long.
So he was revamped and then eventually came back up to speed, and he's been doing well. But quietly, he's been doing well in certain environments. So by 2019, it became clear that the takeout that we've been doing is going to get a little bit more quicker. So Flippy successfully infiltrated White Castle. Within months, it was a valuable employee. So now it works for White Castle. You ever seen the people that work for White Castle, Dan?
No, I've been to White Castle like once. And
so right now, Flippy has spawned his unholy twin brother, which is now called Wingy. And guess what Wingy's doing?
I guess he's cooking up some wings for everybody, some hot wings.
Take it right there, Dan.
Yeah, Miso Robotics, the leading producer of disembodied mechanical arms, which will most certainly never use their powerful grip to strangle a part-time assistant manager, has announced it now in cahoots with Inspire Brands, the company behind Arby's, Sonic, Dunkin', Baskin-Robbins, Jimmy John's, Roast Taco, and Buffalo Wings. That mega restaurant group just welcomed its Flippy Wings unit, dubbed Wingy by the kitchen team, to its innovation center in Atlanta, Georgia, where it is currently being tailored and tuned to specifications. Once its education is complete, it'll be installed at Alliance Kitchen, Inspire Go's kitchen concept, to gain some real-world experience before infiltrating a standalone Buffalo Wings location next year.
So like his burger flipping big brother, Wingy uses like an AI vision to identify food, which he then, of course, picks it up, drops it in the fryer, and then deposits it onto a hot like holding area, like the little grill patterns and stuff. But Miso Robot swears that Wingy is actually making the restaurant safer by eliminating several hot touch points, which I was talking about earlier. Decrease spillage, you don't lose as much, and when you're not losing as much, of course, you're not replenishing as much. That's the bottom line. And keeping error-prone humans away from giant vats of scalding hot oil. I mean, we've seen many times of people carrying oil on TikTok videos and all that, carrying oil or just cleaning supplies from one section to, and they drop and it spills all over the place.
Yeah, and I mean, I worked at Kentucky Fried Chicken, 412 degrees that oil was that they, in pressure pots.
Did they have to keep it at 412 degrees?
That's what they cooked it at. That's what I mean in these pressure valves. So that there were people that got burnt when I was working there, and it was a normal thing. So
now, when you were working there, Dan, if you did your job really, really well, did the store manager, the owner, the managers, or anything like that give you a bonus or saying, "Hey, you're doing a good job there, Dan"? They
actually told me we have no hours for you, and more or less said, "See you later."
Yeah, that's their polite way of saying, "Get out of here."
Yeah.
Now, this young lady right here, she is the founder of a company called Spanx. Now, do you know what Spanx is? And this is Spanx.
Those are like undergarments, aren't they?
They are undergarments. They're kind of like, they started out as like a girdle. And for some women out there, they have I don't want to say, I'm trying to make it as nice as possible. When you wear a nice long gown, sometimes they're very conscious about the little pooch. I've got a little pooch right here that I've been working on. Dan, you got a pooch too.
Yeah, but how is your
Mediterranean diet's a different story, so we'll go on that another time. But the Spanx actually makes it look like a nice, smooth, flat line stomach without the lines and the awkwardness of having the a girdle. A girdle was where they used to tie. You've seen the corsets where they pull the strings on the back. So they've actually expanded now to do bras, underwears, and all this across the whole entire world. And the CEO has now maintained 51% of the shares, controlling shares of Spanx. So right here.
Yeah, Spanx founder Sarah Blakely surprised employees with the news she revealed on a post on her verified Instagram account Friday. In the video, Blakely spun a globe before revealing that she'd bought each of her employees 2 first-class tickets to anywhere in the world. She added, if you go on a trip, you might want to go out to a really nice dinner. You might want to go to a really nice hotel. And so everybody's first 2-class tickets, any in the world, you are getting $10,000.
So is that can you tax that? Is that
Yeah,
a
I'm
bonus?
sure it's going to be.
So it's going to be,
taxed.
let's say, $7,500, maybe $7,300.
Yeah.
So I want everyone every employee to celebrate this moment on this moment. Hold on, I'll get it, Dan. I really want everyone to celebrate this moment in their own way and create a memory that will last a lifetime. Cheers to 21 years of magic and many more to come, she wrote on her Instagram page. Blakely also pointed out that although 50% of the what's that word?
Entrepreneurs.
There you go. Are women, only 2.3% of the venture capital funding goes to women. So what they're saying is, there's 50% of the build or workforce out there, or the business owners are women, but only the
2.3% of the funding goes to them.
Correct. Right there.
Yeah, in her toast, she paid tribute to the woman that came before me and all of the women in the world who have not had this opportunity. She said that when she founded Spanx in 2000, she did so with $5,000 in savings,
No, I don't know.
And now she's over $1 billion.
Can you imagine that? Your boss comes up and you work for this company for so long, or not so long, but you took a risk on it, you took a gamble on it, you took a chance on it.
And it's a labor of love.
In more ways than one. And then she appreciates your labor of love and lets you fly around. 2 first-class round-trip tickets to anywhere in the world plus $10,000. Yeah. I would think I would sell the tickets. Because I don't want to be in those COVID planes. I don't want to be in, other countries that don't do the whole, mask and all that. That's just me.
Yeah.
I'm still.
Yeah, I don't go traveling.
I don't know if there's a timeline on the whole when those tickets are valid, but nonetheless. Now, Dan, are you a NASCAR fan?
No.
Are you a Joe Biden fan?
No.
So.
Yeah.
Do you know what it means to say, this is the biggest thing that's coming out right now. It's called Let's Go Brandon. And what does it mean? It's showing up on everyone's Facebook pages. It's showing up on TikTok. And nobody knows. Well, I say nobody knows. Yeah. Some people out there might not know what it is. So if you've seen the hashtag Let's Go Brandon on social media, the wonderness of what it meant. The phrase is hashtag relates to the NASCAR racer Brandon Brown. Brandon Brown recently won his first Infinity race and was interviewed for a post-race with his fan chanting in the stands.
Do you know he's legally blind?
No, he's not, is he?
No, I don't.
Why would you say that in the middle of this article, Dan?
Well,
I got enough shit to do. You're going to say that right in the middle of the article?
Well, I was just wondering what the story was about.
So the chance of the fans seem to say say one thing, and then the news reporter says, they're saying, oh, look how nice it is. They're saying, let's go, Brandon. And you can hear it in this interview down below. Hold on, Dan, before you get so excited. Hold on.
His first career win. Didn't look too rusty on those burnouts, Brandon.
Hold on.
You must be practicing somewhere.
Stop. Dan's got me all. You're a stop stick. You know what I'm saying? You know what a stop stick is?
You want to go to camera 5?
I want to go to camera 5. You know what a stop stick is, Dan? Yeah. When I'm going along in a certain space, you throw something out there that makes absolutely no sense, and I stop and skid across the ground, and then I got to figure out, change my tires, and get back on the thing. Okay?
Just keeping you on your toes.
Yeah, thanks. Here we go. This is the chant. They're interviewing him. This is Brandon Brown. He won his first Impact race here.
Oh, my God. It's just such an unbelievable moment.
Now you got to listen to the people in the background.
Okay.
Listen. You ready?
Brandon, you also told me, as you can hear the chants from the crowd, let's go, Brandon. Brandon, you told me you were going to kind of hang back those first 2 stages and just watch and learn. What did you learn that helped you there in those closing laps?
Oh, my God. It was,
Can you hear what they're saying?
Yeah.
What are they saying, Dan?
It almost sounds like they're saying, fuck Joe Biden.
They are saying, fuck Joe Biden. And this newscaster, the interviewer, is saying, oh, look, they're saying, how sweet is that? Let's go,
learning
Brandon.
how each line didn't stayed a 1. Everything shifted top to bottom so much that it was kind of like, okay, let's just stay patient where we're at and hope for the best. And
So if you see that, this news reporter just kind of skimmed over the whole, fuck Joe Biden. And of course, it's live. It's a live telecast, just like we do here on DeaconLive. It's a live telecast. And they're saying F Joe Biden. And the interviewer was like going, hey,
she didn't stop and skid off the roadway, did she?
No, she didn't, Dan. This job's so hard for me sometimes. All right, when we come back, we got a couple more things to get into, and then we'll wrap up the show. You're listening to Deacon Live right here on Prophet Radio. I'll be right back.
I think those are good because people like shit
No,
like that.
Dan, it annoys me to hell.
Oh, okay.
Because I'm sitting here and I've got a train of thought, and I'm sorry, Dan. I'm sorry. I don't mean to yell at you.
No, I wasn't. I didn't know what it was about, and I thought it was something that was a NASCAR driver, and I think when people listen to it, are going to like it, though, because it brings the human element in there.
Yeah.
I got to take a leak.
You ready?
I'm ready.
Sorry, Dan. I don't mean to.
Back to one?
Yeah, I don't mean to yell at you. I just when I'm talking and stuff, and you say something like that, and like I said, you look over at me like you're trying to make me laugh. I don't need that.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm just trying to inject a little humor in it. So.
Well, I understand that, Dan, but you're
Okay.
up. Never mind.
Well, you don't know when you. Sometimes you do it and you go, "Oh, good, I'm glad you said it," and sometimes you don't. So.
Yeah.
Back to the main screen.
Welcome back to Deacon Live. Over to my far right hand, the stop stick of this podcast is IT Dan.
Yes, my new title.
And we are broadcasting live from the COVIDSapien.com studios. Don't blame the Democrats or the Republicans. Show your support silently and peacefully by going to COVIDSapien.com for more information on this widespread virus. Now, Dan, being the stop stick of this podcast, I know this is not before, this is way after your era. Were nightclubs and stuff a big thing when you were growing up?
No.
Not like they are today, I guess.
No, I don't think we had any around. We were in suburbs, and don't really think I went to any nightclubs at all.
All right, so there was a time where people were buying like Rufinol, which is the roofies.
The roofies, yeah, put in people's drinks.
That was coming out around like the rave eras and stuff, and people were being drugged and stuff. And then there was a whole thing where one kid designed a fingernail polish. If you put your fingernail polish in your drink, the fingernail polish would change colors if it was like tainted or anything like that. I think it was a kid out of UNC that actually created that.
Oh, I hadn't heard that.
But now the latest thing that's been going on is if you go out to a party or a nightclub or something like that, and all of a sudden you wake up or you get home and the next morning you've got a small little round bruise, and you're like, oh, I might have hit my arm on the chair, something might have happened, something's not right. I just, I've got low iron, I bruise easily. Unfortunately, there have been many instances where people have come home from a late night out at the bar, from the club feeling a little bit sick, and they realize their drink may have been spiked. However, the new disturbing way that creeps into bad intentions are drugging potential victims is called injection spiking, and it sees people getting injected by a stranger without even knowing it.
Yeah, the devious act has gotten so bad in Britain that Secretary of the Interior has asked police to keep her updated on the issue. Many club goers are staying home as well, and some are even boycotting venues until security is tightened, fearful that they will be non-consensually injected. And they're trying to put a roofie in it, or what are they?
They're injecting them with something. I don't know what it is. So here's the TikTok video. You want to go to 4? So here we go. Here's the video. Oops, I got 2 videos going on.
I literally had this and I didn't know what it was. I was on a night out and I got home and I had the same bruise like that. I still have it. Wait, I'll show you. Hold on. It's on my leg and it's like
it almost looks like a spider bite, but it's got a little injection point.
And then this bruise around it, and it was super hard. And I had no idea what it was.
But wouldn't she have woken up someplace or
and I just
something?
thought I'd fallen over and bruised myself. Like, is this real? Is this actually happening? Is this real in England?
So I don't know. I don't know what happened to her, but they're saying that, you take a small little needle, and have you ever seen your diabetic needles? They got a really, really short needle on. I mean, it's small. It's about maybe a quarter of an inch long, and they're paper thin. You wouldn't even feel it. You just, and then you're done. So whatever they're putting in it, it's called what do I call it? Injection spikes is what they're doing.
I have not heard of that, but it's one thing we really don't need.
We don't need that at all. Now, Dan, let's see. Something that we don't need. Let's see what I'm going right here. Just bankruptcy. Okay. So you just bought my truck.
Yes.
All right. And it's a 2011.
Yeah, Silverado. Love it.
And guess what? They've actually, on the website, we're now allowed to order the 1500 2022. So the chips are being filled in the vehicles and stuff. And we actually put it in I don't want to say put it in order. We actually created a truck, almost the same exact identical truck, a little bit bigger, a little bit different. I think there was maybe $500 difference.
What color? White?
The red that we wanted is not available. So we're opting for the blue. There's like this mystic metallic blue, like a royal blue almost.
Light or dark?
It's a royal blue, Dan.
Okay.
You know what a royal blue is?
No, I'm colorblind, remember?
Now, be careful out there, because this time of year, it's hunting season. Now, hunting season means that there's deer and everything running around out there. So right now, North Carolina is issuing the AAA in North Carolina says offering tips to avoid costly deer collisions. Now, remember we had that story about all the cows no one was on the beaches, so all the cows just they were on the beaches, kind of took over the beaches, and they got really, really aggressive.
I remember.
Same thing with the back roads here in Charlotte. Now, for those of you who don't know, we broadcast just outside of Charlotte, North Carolina, a beautiful little town we like to call Marshville, and we sit on about 22 some odd acres, and we have 2-lane country roads. To get here, to get out of here, we can see your headlights from a mile away, but you can't see the deer. And the deer now, because there's not much traffic going up and down the roads from everyone working at home and everyone, homeschooling and kids, there's no work traffic or school traffic, deer are getting a little bit more friskier, a little bit more bolder, crossing streets and stuff.
We see them in our neighborhood they're right in my yard. I'm 20, 30 feet away from them.
So what they're saying now is it's deer season, and they're getting a little spry. They're getting a little, it's mating season, essentially is what it is. So what they're saying is be careful out there this time of year.
Yeah, this time of year when deer are extremely active and the chance of them darting into the roadway are much higher. The Auto Club in the Carolinas said, we urge drivers to stay alert, especially on animal-prone areas, because a collision with the deer can be just as destructive as a collision with another vehicle. Deer kill more people than sharks. We've talked about it.
The months of October through December, about 51% of the crashes, the DOT states, is from deer crashes or deer crossing the road. Hitting a deer almost costs about $4,300 to fix your car. Now, my wife, many years ago, she was coming down a 2-lane back road, and she was either talking to her friend on the Bluetooth, and a deer she was going 35. She said 35. I'm going to go with 35. Jumped out in front of her, and she smacked it. It got up on her hood. The whole rolled off the hood and took off across the cornfields. And she pulled over, freaked out. She was less than a mile from the house, called me freaking out. Hey, oh my God, I hit a deer, came up there. The front ground effects was scraping on the ground. I had to pull that back up. And then we came home and got the whole entire front redone. And then, of course, a couple years later, she gets sideswiped on a 2-lane road. Someone ran a stop sign. So most of the deer are active between 5 a.m. to 8 a.m. and also 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. So pay close attention out there. If you see a deer, which you never do, slow down. If you see one crossing the road, creep up slowly, because there's probably 4 or 5 more behind it. Now, Dan, do you have those little whistles on your car?
I was just going to say, in Vermont, we had deer whistles that would go on the front of the car, and we had them then. I don't see them now, but I see a lot of them in our community. But, and you just be careful driving around.
Now, Hertz Rent-A-Car. Are you familiar with them?
Yeah. I'm a Hertz Gold member, by the way.
Are you really? Well, you're going to be really, really excited about this right now, because Hertz just now made a purchase order, sent out an invoice to Tesla. You ever heard of those guys?
Yeah, I've heard of them.
They just sent out an order for 100,000 Teslas for its new electronic fleet.
Yeah, with football superstar Tom Brady set to pitch the deal, Hertz plans to field 100,000 Tesla electric cars to its North American and European rental fleets. This move will position the rental company as the largest source of electric vehicle rentals in the United States and one of the biggest in Europe, at a time when electric vehicles are beginning to gain real traction. In turn, it can not just help not Tesla, but the auto industry overall by increasing awareness of what today's latest electrical vehicles can do.
So imagine that. Your Hertz, you were bankrupt, and you said, you know what, now that and there's different types of bankrupt. You can be Chapter 7, Chapter 13, Chapter 21, whatever. And I think whatever chapter they did is basically just repositioning their finances, and they ended up spending whatever on 100,000 Teslas. So 100,000, what, at $40,000? How much is that?
Yeah, $4 billion. Yeah.
No, it's not it's $4 million.
No, there's a $4 billion deal if you scroll up.
Well, I'm sure there's other things that are involved.
Yeah.
Where do you see $4 billion?
At the very top. Scroll up to the top. Keep going.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
More than $4 billion. All right. Thank you, Dan.
Yeah.
All right. But what it's done is it's actually taken Tesla to where they can pay off a lot more. They paid off a lot of their debt. So they're almost, which is always good, be debt free. Yeah. They have nothing over. They don't owe anyone. For the most part, anything, and now they made themselves $1 trillion company, which is the first company to ever do that.
My nephew, I was talking to my nephew, who's down in Texas, and they rented a Tesla, and he said he was shocked how well it responded. He said, you step on the gas pedal instantly. You didn't have to build up RPMs. He said, those things are fast. And he said the response, it's nothing like anything's ever driven before.
I think Hertz has made a really good purchase because they will do exactly that. Hey, I want a Tesla. Technically I want to test drive one. I can rent it for a week and drive it around and see if I like this, and then actually go out and buy it. So it's good on both parties. You have the person who wants to test drive a Tesla for a week. You pay whatever it is, the fee for a week. Maybe it's going to be a little bit higher. I would assume it'd be a little bit higher, maybe $300 for a week, and do you return it? You can't return it with gas.
Yeah.
The gas gauge. Hey, put the gas. I don't have a charger. This is all up to you guys. But for the most part, I mean, that's what they're doing. I think they're going to see a lot of business on it. And I think Hertz is also partnered with Uber, and they're going to be Uber lets you. For those of you who don't know that Uber lets you, if you don't have a car that meets their standards, they will actually help you rent or buy or lease a car from them. And you can, whatever your tips are and stuff like that, you can pay Uber for your car payment.
Yeah. The other day, I was in my yard.
Here we go.
A Mercedes-Benz, a white Mercedes-Benz sedan, pulled up in my yard, pulled about 10 feet into my driveway. I thought they were just turning around. They stopped, and a black woman got up, walked over to a trunk and opened it up, and walked up to me and goes, here, got a couple packages. It was from Amazon. I mean, and she had the little barcode reader and stuff like that. But hey, getting your package delivered in Amazon.
Oh yeah. They make good money.
Yeah. So it's the world's changing, but I think the electric cars are good for the planet.
Well, and, I was reading something while I was doing research for this podcast. I was reading an article and I almost pulled it. I was like, well, that's going to go against what I said about what was the other week. I said how much it costs to actually charge your electric
battery
vehicle.
Yeah.
They actually said that it costs you per mile or per something. I forget what it was. Your admission car, your gasoline admission car, actually is cheaper right now per whatever to have it next to an electric car. Now, of course, those prices are going to fluctuate. But I got all the information. I forget what the actual article was, but right now it's cheaper to have a gas car than an electric car. And the difference is maybe 5% difference. It's 5% different to have a gas car than an electric car, but it's coming around. But GM, I think, was it GM that just came out and said, we're going to give 100 or 10,000 charging stations to anyone across the United States. And all you have to do is apply for it. We will come out and put these charging stations in your, let's say a mall. If you know those Simon malls or anything like that, we'll put 10 charging stations there for free. And I think they're doing that as well. So the charging station is the big thing.
Yeah, it's interesting, but the world is changing all the time.
Great commentary, Dan. All right. So speaking of cars, if you are down on your luck or you just need a new car, if you need a new car and you ever gone to the auction? Are you familiar with the auction, Dan? Like auto auction?
Yeah, and everyone I've talked to said the prices are really high at the auction.
So in Orlando, just outside the international airport in Orlando, is this huge. I mean, if you had a drone, you could do overhead footage of this huge parking lot, and all it is auction cars. There's a huge auto auction there, and dealers from all over the country come there and they bid on packs of cars. So, like, we got 10 vans, we got 10 trucks, we got 20 trucks, we got 20 cars. I bid on them, and you pay whatever, and then they ship them out to you. Well, airports right now are getting into that little deal because they have to pay a lot to store a car. And what happens if something happens and there's abandoned cars in your 3-story, 4-story, 5-story parking garage, and you have all these abandoned cars? What do you do with it? Well, airports are now getting in on the game. What happens random abandoned cars could be yours at the Pittsburgh airport in this annual auction. Why do people park at the airport and never come back? Who knows? It might lead to a bargain for you. This auction is being held sometime in October. Here you go.
Yeah, there are stories behind the 10 vehicles, including a 2015 Mini Cooper S, a 2002 BMW, and the 1999 Nissan Maxima pictured here. That people left it, so it doesn't seem 10 cars is not a lot. But what do you do with titles as far as that? I'm just curious.
I think they probably give them a abandoned title and go from there.
Yeah, if used vehicles aren't your thing, how about industrial things, snow plows? So it's crazy the things they're doing, but yeah, enough people simply abandon their vehicles at the Pittsburgh International Airport each year that the Pittsburgh Airport Authority holds an annual auction to get rid of the growing collection. This year, the auction is set for this coming weekend, and it's a place to be if you're looking to snag someone's old, unwanted vehicle.
So I don't understand. Yeah. I guess people are just leaving them out there, I guess.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I mean, they could go on a flight somewhere, their plane crashed, they go to another country and can't come back.
So over in
crazy
Pittsburgh,
things happen.
Keep an eye over at the Pittsburgh airport. They are auctioning off cars, I guess, this weekend, and they might do it every year. Let's see, what does it say? Still interested in that in the 2021 or 2020, 2006 Nissan Murano around 150,000 miles, sold for $1,100. A 2012 Chevy Silverado with 57,000 miles sold for $18,000. So you're not just walking away with like a really good deal, because I mean that right there, a 2012 Chevy Silverado.
Yeah, that's not a super steal, but it's a bargain.
It is a bargain. Yeah. All right, when we come back, we got one more segment to go, and then we'll wrap it up and let you guys get back to what you got to do. You're listening to DeaconLive right here on Prophet Radio. I'll be right back.
Kathy doesn't want new tires for her car.
Good.
The tires sound like crap, and she goes, having tires that sound good aren't going to make me like this car. She'd rather spend the money on a purple mattress, but she wants me to pay for it. I got to say, no, you got to pay for it.
All right, I think we somewhat saved the show, Dan.
Yes. I think when in retrospect, when you hear back, you go, it's good.
Only because I edit it. And I make it sound good.
Are you going to cut out that part where I said that?
I don't know. I'll see how it unfolds.
I think that's the human element when I listen.
Yes, Dan. That's the human element.
We're not robots flipping burgers.
No, we are not robots. Robots. My other ones came in. I should show them to you. Well, you don't care. The other podcast.
Why don't I care?
I don't know. You just don't care.
No, I do. You always say that. You're not listening. You don't care.
Yeah.
I care about everything.
No, because when you call me, you're like, hey, Hello, Dan. How are things? Oh, let me tell you about everything that's going on right now. I'm like going, Dan, do you know I'm in the middle of doing something? You want to? You just go on. You just spell it off. I'm like going, I could be sitting on the toilet. I could be halfway through a field, and you just go spell it. I'm like, all right, well, here we go.
I have my own podcast, and you're trying to tell me what your schedule is and how busy you are on my show. Come on.
Welcome back to Deacon Live. We broadcast just outside of Charlotte, North Carolina in, I don't know what I'm doing. You got me all confused here. Hold on. Stop. Delete. Yes. Done.
You are a stop stick. Do that.
No, I'm not, Dan.
Welcome
back to Deacon Live. We broadcast just outside of Charlotte, North Carolina, beautiful little town we like to call Marshville. Broadcasting live from the COVIDSapien.com studios. Show your support peacefully and find out who's the actual blame for the widespread virus. Go to COVIDSapien.com for more information. Get some free swag there, or order your swag there as well. From that website. And over to my far right-hand side is IT Dan.
Yes, it's been a great day.
Are you sure it's been a great day?
Yeah, it's nice.
You're
beautiful weather.
You are absolutely driving me insane during this podcast. You're all over the place. You're a stop stick. You're saying things. You're interrupting my stuff, and it's okay. It's part of the podcast. It's human nature. It's what's going on here at the studios. I mean, this is not staged. This is not scripted or anything like that. And you're over there reading what about Kidden Rodenbauer?
Yeah,
What's his name?
Yeah, some kid on the news. But you don't see my point of view. I didn't get my $10,000 thing in the airline tickets,
So
I deserve to screw everything up.
Why?
Yeah, because I didn't get my $10,000.
From who?
The other people at that other company.
They're a billion.
Spanx.
They're $1 billion company. Do you think we're $1 billion company here, Dan?
Yeah, $1 billion ideas. Yeah.
If I got paid for every idea, $1 billion for every idea that I had that was successful, I'd have maybe $1.50.
Yes. But we're all rich. You know that?
Are
Our
we?
own way, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, this guy right here, after serving 2 tours in Afghanistan, and because of the whole Joe Biden thing, or not Joe Biden thing, this was already put in down the pike and everything, as far as getting all the troops and everything out of Afghanistan. This guy comes home and just wants to pick up, a gallon of milk and a loaf of bread and a stick of butter at the local convenience store. And here he is waiting in line, and these 2 knuckleheads come running in. You do a camera 4 on that, Dan. These 2 knuckleheads come running into the store, and let's see if I can, hold on, with a gun, and try to rob the place. So let's see if I can do this. Oh, there's music. So there he is. He's just kind of waiting in line. Here come the guys, 2 little skinny guys. What happened, Dan?
He grabbed the gun out of him, knocked one guy down, and the other guy ran out the door.
But he's coming in pointing at the gun.
Yeah. Yeah, he knows self-defense. And
You want me to play it again? I'll play it again.
Yeah, that's...
So he's probably talking to the cashier, a couple things, hey, what's going on? All right, that's cool. He's got whatever in his hand. 2 kids, I'm going to say guys. They're 2 kids, thugs, come in all dressed in black. And the first one's pointing the gun. He's got it pointed sideways, gangster style. And he sees the gun and literally just smacks it out of his hand. Yep. Yeah, and then punches him.
Well, he pushes, in self-defense, you push the gun out of the way so if it discharges.
Yep.
He pushed it up in the air and then discharged him and knocked him down. And he punched him in the head, and the other kid just fell down and ran out the door.
Fucking pussies. Yeah. That's what they are. Yeah. Now, being a fucking pussy, Dan, have you ever gone hiking or snow skiing or anything like that?
I hiked down to my mailbox and stuff, which is like 500 feet away from my house.
Stop stick.
Yeah. Well, no, I've never gone hiking.
Okay. So in Colorado, everyone's smoking weed out in Colorado, and a lot of people are, they love Colorado because of the environment. You can go hunting, you can go camping, you can go fishing and doing all that stuff.
The mountains. Yeah.
You can do the mountains, and they're skiing and stuff. Unfortunately, a Colorado rescue team has some simple advice for any lost hikers out there wandering around during this time of year. And you find yourself lost in the mountains. Now, this guy right here was reported missing because he didn't show up back to base camp after about 24 hours. So after about 24 hours, they haven't seen the hiker. And so they said to the local affiliate saying, hey, look, we can't find our friend. He's out there somewhere. And of course, the local affiliates go, what's his phone number? And they go, here's this phone number. And they called him. They called him all the way from 9 o'clock in the morning to about 12 hours later to 8 o'clock that night. And no answer. Went straight to voice message. So what happened was, right here.
Yeah, five team members looked for the hiker in areas where people tend to get lost, but called off the search at 3 a.m. A 3-person search team checked another area at 7 a.m. Then they got a call about 9:30 a.m. that the hiker, who was not identified, had returned to where they were staying. The hiker had no idea that the rescuers were looking for him. So, one notable takeaway is the subject ignored repeated phone calls from us because they didn't recognize the number. If you're overdue according to your itinerary and you start getting repeated calls from an unknown number, please answer the phone. It could be a rescue team.
So the guy was probably out there and he's like, oh shit, I know which way it is. I can figure out how to get out of here. He's probably, like the Marine. He's like, I can figure out how to get out of here. I'm a manly man. And he's walking and all of a sudden he gets this phone call, hi, would you like to increase your homeowner's insurance? You're like, what the fuck? Yeah. And then maybe that's what he was thinking. He's gotten so many of those spam calls. He just saw like these unrecognized numbers and said, all right, here we go. Spam number again. But it's the same one over and over. And he refused to answer the phone.
I hope they charge him a fee. I hope they fine him for that. So,
but what would be the grounds for charging him a fee?
Because when you're going hiking, there's rules by the park. And they do that at Mount Washington. If you go out and you said, you sign in, tell them where you're going and when you're expected back.
Really?
Yeah. And if they have to put search parties for you because you're lost.
Because you're an idiot.
Because you're an idiot, you charge them.
And you don't answer your phone.
Well, you look at you have a certain budget for your office and everything there. If you have to send your rangers out, and it happens all the time in Mount Washington.
A good friend of mine posted on Facebook saying, hey, look, and they're worried about the Gabby Petito thing and the whole Brian Laundrie thing. Yeah. If you've ever been lost or out of range or anything like that and you're worried about, you've seen the movies where your battery's like on its last tick of batteries, to go to your voice message and leave a voice message of your last location where you're at. Give them all the information you can because you're like, hey, I'm stuck in the corner of 5th and Main. I don't know where I'm at. There's 2 trees. It's 2:30 in the afternoon on December 14th. Ow, I bit my cheek. December 14th. And then you leave that as a message. Even if your phone dies, people will call your phone and get that message so they know exactly, hey, according to this right here, it's December 14th. Here's the message and stuff. So it's kind of like one of those helping tips if your battery's running low on or your phone's running low on batteries.
Okay, well, that's a good thing for our listeners.
There you go. All right, one more thing or a couple more things. Dan, have you ever entered a beauty contest of any sorts?
Is this a trick question? No.
Have you ever seen the beauty contest? Donald Trump had a Miss Universe pageant.
Yeah, I actually have never watched one.
They were big for a while through the 60s, 70s, and 80s, and somewhere in the 90s it kind of fell off. And I think that was the the invention of the internet. And then everyone was like kind of complaining and pitching their whole thing. This is all it's crap. Why do we subject women, the revolution of women being empowerment and all that stuff. And
and the worst thing is that a lot of these kids, their mothers have forced them from the time they were 4 years old to go to these things when they could be out having fun,
So this beauty pageant right here took a whole bunch of shots as far as people complaining about this beauty pageant. 3 former Miss France candidates allege that the pageant is discriminatory in practices and by picking contestants based on representation of beauty. That's their claim. They say that, they're only picking the pretty people to be in this competition. Well, of course, Dan.
Yeah, it's a beauty contest. Yeah.
What they say, the requirements are placed in like a minimum of height of 5 foot 5 inches, no tattoos or any other piercings other than their ears. Plus, anyone has to be either single or never been married and not have any children. They can't change their hair or gain weight during the competition or be that way. So right here.
Yeah, the woman suing the pageant, who are remaining anonymous, teamed up with French feminist group Osez la Féministe, which translates to Dare to be Feminist. They filed their complaint against the Miss France Company and Endemol Productions, who are behind the annual TV broadcast. The suit alleges that Miss France is a vehicle for sexist values.
Broadcast.
Yeah.
You said podcast, broadcast.
Okay.
It's okay.
And it's, I mean, beauty's only skin deep, and ugly goes right to the bone.
But I mean, you know, you're signing up to be a beauty. It's a beauty pageant. Now, granted, there's other stuff. They also ask them, you know, how quickly can they think on their feet. When they say, what would you do to help kids in other countries? And what was Miss South Carolina?
Yeah.
Or can, I think everyone should have maps, because maps aren't available to everyone in the world. And a registration of maps for everyone in the country should have maps. And, you know, Mario Lopez is standing there going, what the fuck did she just say?
Yeah, and, you know, and can these people cook or do other things? But a beauty pageant's a beauty pageant. Get over it. You know what I mean?
And it's come a long way. But, you know, it's a fraternity, because if you look at beauty pageants, you know, 98% of them are white. You know, 98% of them come from a well-established background as far as whether it be education or money. You don't see a slumlord queen from, you know, Brooklyn, you know, with no backing or anything. So I think, in my opinion, I think the beauty pageants in the next 10 years might evolve into something different. It might evolve into what we're seeing now, what America's Got Talent, or America, you know, The Voice, or anything like that.
It would be nice to see if someone could carry a conversation, do some cooking. I don't think they expect anyone to sew, anyone to be a tailor and how to sew.
Dan, you know how chauvinistic that sounds in itself?
No, I mean, I think that
I just want to see someone that can sew and cook and mend my socks and iron my jeans.
No, I think
that's what you just said.
I'm saying that beauty is someone who knows how to do certain things, like to cook,
like to cook and clean and mend my socks.
No, and I said I'm not asking them to know how to sew. No one knows how to do that anymore. But you know, someone that's a little well-rounded.
Change a tire?
Yeah.
Change the oil?
Yeah, someone could change the spark plugs in your car and cook, and it's pretty.
Reshingle a roof?
Yeah. I had a girl come into Home Depot one day, very, very attractive girl, must have weighed 105 pounds at the most, wearing these dressed black jeans, came in and picked up 3 bags of cement, picked them up, put them on a cart, and she didn't get anything on her, totally clean. I said, look at that. That's amazing.
Well, she's got nothing to rub the concrete off of.
Yeah.
You know, normally you pick it up, you put it up because you use your weight and leverage.
Yeah, you lift it up and you put it against your stomach and you grab it. And I just look at one and I get dirty and I said, wow. I mean, she's all dressed up nice, comes in and grabs them. And I said, that's talent. That's talent.
All right, one more thing before we let you go. You are watching a dog right now.
Yeah, watching little Marley.
Marley, and do you have to take Marley to the trimmer or to the hair salon or anything like that?
No, we don't get involved in any of that.
So this technique, a groomer, is used to clip a Chihuahua's nails, has gone very viral. Now, I had a dog many years ago, and it was I forget what kind of dog it was. Anyways, there's glands in the back of a dog where they squirt out. There's a stink gland, almost like a skunk. If it gets nervous or whatever, it shoots out this little...
Oh, I've never heard that before.
It's gross. It's gross. Yeah. But when you clip a dog's nail, especially our bulldogs, you grab the paw and you got to clip and make sure you don't clip their wick, because the wick is like clipping your cuticles.
Oh, they can bleed.
Yeah, they'll not bleed to death, but they'll bleed. It's no different than cutting your nails too short. And they'll, reach around and bite you. Well, this technique that this dog groomer has found out is very, very successful. The tiny dog Chief is not a fan of being groomed and clearly isn't afraid of letting it be known. This viral video has hit over 1.5 million views. The Chihuahua was captured growling and lunging at her every time her nails were being clipped. For the safety of the groomer, she has invented this astronaut-like helmet to apply on the dog. Chief wants to be an astronaut when he grows up, the groomer says, Heather, and the capture on TikTok. So here we go. Let's see. Here's the whole video right here. Dan, you want to hit camera 5? And let's see. Here you go.
Oh, look at that.
Chief's going to be an astronaut
Yeah.
So if you see the dog's kind of suspended in the air by a harness, which I'm sure is what they do.
They have a table and they have a harness that wraps around the chest of the body, and then it's got a snapped-on astronaut bubble, and it can't bite the woman with it. So. Yeah, that is crazy.
And there's holes in it, of course, so it can breathe.
Yeah.
But it sits there. Look at the. Here you go.
It's okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Chief's gonna be an astronaut when he grows up.
Yeah.
It's okay.
So instead of putting a muzzle on the dog, which would cause even more heartache and pain, this is just a globe that kind of goes around. You ever seen those cones?
Yeah.
Those cones, what they call it, cone of shame.
Yeah.
That goes around the dog if it gets a
so
surgery
they don't scratch themselves or stuff.
Well, they lick their wounds from stitches. This is a globe that goes right around the dog head. It looks like it snaps in, and then so you can't bite it. So here you go. Poor doggy. We need to look at the globe right there. All right, guys, on that note, we'll let you guys get back to what you got to do on behalf of IT Dan over there. Oops.
No, it's been a great show.
My name is the Deacon saying goodnight and goodnight.
Wait, come back.
And we'll go to this camera right here.
The absolute
jazz ways to the thing. Go like this. What did I do the other day? It would look cool. This right here. Let's try to. Yeah, that's good. All right. Thanks, guys. Take care. Good night.